I'm Yuma.
I'm Yuhei.
I'm Keiichiro.
Can you imagine being one of 17 children in the same family? Born right in the middle, number 8. That was Elizabeth. We know her as Betsy Ross.
Betsy finished school at age 12. She was apprenticed out to an upholsterer where she learned the trade. She also met another apprentice there, John, who became her good friend and later her husband.
John and Betsy started an upholstery business, but like many others, John joined the Philadelphia militia as a patriot to stand up against the British. Before the revolution researched Philadelphia. Unfortunately, while John was guarding the supplies, the ammunition catch fire and exploded, hurting John terribly.
Betsy tried to nurse John back to health, but he died January 21, 1776. Since she was a strong woman, she managed to keep the business going. Years later, after losing a second husband to the Revolutionary War and marrying for the third time, Betsy told stories from her life to her children and grandchildren. This is one of those stories when Betsy gets company.
Well, what do you know, George Washington? I thought you were on a trip.
We are glad you are here today, Betsy.
And looked pleased with you, Uncle George. Or should I say, Colonel Ross?
Hello, Betsy.
And this is our friend Robert Morris. He co-owns Reading Morris and Company, a shipping banking business. But more importantly, he's a brilliant man and a generous patriot. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Come into the parlor behind the store here, and I'll get you some refreshments.
Thank you, Betsy.
So Betsy took care of her guests, then asked, You all look very official today. Is there something on your minds?
I was just telling Robert here about how you embroidered ruffles for my shirt not long ago, and what a fine patriot your husband John was before he passed away. But that's not why we came.
I see. So, am I to guess why you're here?
Certainly not. We are the new flag committee.
New flag committee?
Well, I've told people that ever since I met you at Christ Church and found out you had a upholstery business that you could sew anything. Chair cushions, shirt ruffles, even turkeys. That's right.
Oh, George.
So we were wondering, would you be willing to sew a new flag?
Is there a problem with the Grand Union flag?
Is there a problem? Robert, tell her our problem, please.
As you know, the Grand Union flag has a small British Union Jack in the upper left hand corner, so to some it looks like it's related to Britain. Unfortunately, when we began to fly that flag, many of our people thought it meant George Washington was going to surrender to British.
I can't tell that story without laughing, even though I know it's not funny. I just get so tickled thinking about people believing that George Washington could ever surrender. They sure don't know George.
Thank you, I think.
You're welcome, my friend.
So we knew we needed a new flag and we needed it soon. George suggested you might sew us a new flag.
I've never made a flag before, but it can't be much harder than some of upholstering or other swing I write down. Maybe it will be more interesting. What did you have in mind?
I have a suggested drawing here from Francis Hopkinson. Mr. Hopkinson is from New Jersey. He's a very detailed man with a creative mind.
George Washington removed the drawing from his coat pocket and placed it on the table for Betsy to see. What do you think about the drawing, Mrs. Sue and Sue?
Mrs. So-and-so? To be perfectly honest, I think it needs some help. First of all, the proportions are wrong.
I wondered about that. How do you mean?
This drawing is a square flag. A flag really should be one third longer than its width.
More like this?
Yeah, that's right. You're very good at drawing flag, George. Maybe you shouldn't make it.
I used to be a surveyor, but I'm not seamstress.
I'll never tell.
And I suppose you don't want to see a new flag either. Colonel so-and-so,
Who me? Ask Robert.
Mr. Morris.
No, thank you. I'll pay for it, but I won't sew it.
Well, it would look much better if we clean up the design a bit too.
You mean the stars or the stripes?
The stars. First, they are scattered about all over the blue field. It will look like a more unified design if the stars are in lines or in a circle.
I like the idea of being beautified. What if we put the stars in a circle like this?
That's very good, George. But the drawing by Mr. Hopkinson shows six pointed stars, and you've done the same thing. If you will change the shape to the 5-point stars, I'll show you how one can be made with just one snip of the circles. That's why you can have your flag sooner.
So Betsy shows them how to make a five-pointed star by folding the paper a special way and making just one cut with the scissors.
The men were impressed.
I told you Betsy was the right one for the job. That's a perfect star. Very clean, nice lines. I don't think I can draw it that perfectly, but a five-pointed star somehow looks stronger.
I never thought of that. I learned how to make these when I was a girl. I see you have a design now, George. Good proportion. 5-pointed stars in a circle. What do we do now?
Robert and I were discussing that while you two were working on the design. Robert has a successful shopping business with a ship docked at the port of Philadelphia.
That's right. If you think it could help, I have a flag in the sea chest that you may borrow to see how it is sewn. We will also have a painted drawing for you to see the colors and proportions.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Morris.
And of course, I'll pay for all your supplies as well as your time. I can see you are a very gifted woman.
Thank you, sir. I'm honored to be able to use my skills for such a worthwhile cause.
You're a real patriot, Betsy. And at least this flag won't make people think George Washington is considering surrender.
Not when the stars and stripes are waving independence.
The stars and stripes did wave independence proudly. Betsy's daughter Rachel wrote.
Mother went diligently to work upon his flag and soon finished it and returned it the first star-spangled banner that was ever made to her employers.
The new flag apparently did a test run up the peak of one of Mr. Morris' ships. Betsy's daughter Rachel also writes.
It was received with shouts of applause by the few bystanders who happened to be looking on.
The new flag committees carried the Betsy Ross flag into Congress.
Where it was unanimously approved.
The next day, Colonel Ross called upon Betsy Ross to tell her the good news. They loved it. Betsy, did you enjoy making the new flag?
I surely did. I can't think of better use of my showing skills. And I skills can't believe people apparently it the first time they saw the stars and stripes.
They did, and I'm relieved you enjoyed the work. We need you to keep making flags, as many as you can, Mrs. So-and-so. Sew one flag, and sew another, and another, just so and so. Please don't stop sewing flags.
It's my honor and my joy. Imagine I get paid to make 5 pointed stars with one shape. So Betsy continued to make flag for the United States government.
For over 50 years. The end.